I'm going to give you a few hacks to accelerate your wealth through real estate investing. And these might be things that you are doing that you should not be doing, or these could be things that you aren't doing at all. So if you're new to this channel, my name is Justin Urong, and I've coached hundreds of students to make money in real estate. And the first thing that I think you should be doing, or you should not be doing, is to not spread yourself too thin in different aspects. So don't spread yourself too thin, one, in the different overall strategies that you're trying to implement. So in terms of the industry, so like don't be attacking real estate investing and then trying to do these things on the side, or doing more personal training or realtor work, and like you might have one other thing to bring in your income, but don't do too much, because this is something that I actually had to go through myself, and it was a big mistake that I had to learn. And when I was younger and starting out this journey, I had started as a personal trainer, I was doing realtor work, I was working at a bank full-time as a W-2 earner, and I was doing the real estate investing. So that's 4 different things, and honestly, I was kind of mediocre at all of them because I didn't have enough time or attention to focus on all these different things. And realistically, what had to happen is I had to cut out different things. So I cut out the personal training, I actually ended up quitting my bank job eventually, and I also quit the realtor work, and I said, I am just going to focus on the real estate investing, and then I crushed it. Now, you might not have that kind of risk tolerance if you're more risk averse, which looking back, I probably should have held on to that W-2 job just a little bit more to have some kind of income come in as well, but I didn't, and that's what I did. But if you want any type of success, you have to have focus for a consistent time over a long enough time horizon. That's how this game works. And if you don't focus, you're just gonna kind of be okay at everything. Now, the other part of focus that I want you to understand is that within the real estate investing, let's say you are pretty focused and you're going all in at the real estate investing, but you're trying all these different marketing strategies. So you are doing the cold calling, you are doing deals from MLS, or you're trying to find deals from the MLS, you are trying to text sellers, you're doing door knocking, like you're doing all these different things. And if you do that, it's kind of the same concept. You will not have enough focus to succeed. And you might have enough focus to succeed if you actually stick to all of those things long term, and you hit all your goals, you hit all your key metrics, you're making enough calls, you're doing enough door knocks every single day. Like if you do all that stuff and it's like you're a solopreneur, you will have success over time. But if you want to see the success faster, I recommend you to actually just stay focused. Pick one lane, pick cold calling, or pick MLS, or pick door knocking. Like do one thing that you can commit to consistently, and even when you pick that thing, there's even things that can go wrong within that. So let's say you pick the MLS and you want to find your first deal on the MLS because it's free, something I recommend. You can definitely find deals on the MLS. But let's say you pick that, and as you're doing it, you're like doing it kind of half-heartedly, or like not wholeheartedly. You're doing it and you're calling a couple agents, a day, and then maybe you skip a day and then you call more agents that day. Like if there's no focus within the marketing strategy, you're gonna fail as well, or it's just gonna take really, really long. So whatever strategy you chose, you have to understand what the key metric you're trying to track to make yourself understand that you are going to succeed if you just stick to it. So for example, if you're tracking the MLS, one of the key metrics is offers made, or even conversations had with the realtors. So if you're tracking offers made and you're making 1 offer a week, which that's still consistent, I can't beat you up about that, but you have to understand if you're at that volume, it's gonna take a long, long time. For me or for any other real estate investor out there attacking the MLS, if you're wanting to get deals on the MLS consistently, realistically, you wanna be offering like 10 plus times every single day. Like 10 offers every single day, 20 offers every single day. Now I realize when you're new, it's a little bit intimidating, and I get it, but I did find my very first MLS deal offering 1 offer every single day. And it was only 1 offer every single day because I was younger and I was spread very thin with just like what I was doing. I was a full-time college student, I was a W-2, actually I was like multiple W-2 jobs, and I did personal training on the side. So I was like full-time student, more than full-time worker. And at the end of every single night at like 10 p.m., I would analyze one deal, send it to my realtors like, hey, I want to make an offer on this. And here's my offer, here's why. And that's what I did for a long, long time until I got my first deal. So you definitely can do that, but just be focused in whatever avenue you're doing. So that's the first thing. The second thing that I really would like you to be doing is to self-assess a lot more often. So assuming you are focused now, you're making the calls that you need in whatever strategy that you're trying to attack, you want to assess your conversations and just your general speaking, like how you speak to sellers or to realtors or to wholesalers, whatever strategy your is. Because if you assess this properly, like at the end of every single call, just ask yourself, how'd that one go? Did I do everything right? Did they actually want to work with me? Did they want to sell their house to me? And if not, what went wrong? Was it your fault? Was it the seller actually just did not want to sell? Or was there something else you could have done to actually get the deal done? Like, these are the questions you have to ask because you have to constantly improve. If you were just going through the motions, you still will improve if you do the volume. Like, if you're calling 2,000 people every single day, like that you're doing the cold calls and you're talking to all these people, like, you're gonna get better, no matter if you're focusing on getting better or not. But to accelerate that path, if you truly focus on improving every single call, every single person you talk to, you will be so much better than the person who is not doing that. So that's the second thing, and just whatever you're doing, every conversation, and it's not only with conversations, but let's say you do get a deal. Let's say, what if it what's the word? Oh, cancels. What if the deal cancels? If that happens, then you have to ask yourself, and you have to assess even more and ask the question of, what could I have done differently so that that did not happen? Just basically every mistake that you have made, assess and think. I think as entrepreneurs, we vastly undervalue what our brain can do and like what sitting down, thinking to yourself can actually do for yourself. We're always kind of in the cog, where we're working and on the grind, and a lot of us fail to stop to think. So I urge you, think a little bit more and you'll be a lot better off. And the third thing that I encourage you to do is, if you're starting out in this, focus almost, or if not 100% of your time on finding your next deal. That's it. Because when I was starting out, I know I did not do this, and I still found a deal this way. But if I had focused all my time on actually the marketing aspect of the business and trying to find my next deal, I would have found the deal way faster. I would have found way more deals faster and made more money much faster, basically. What I had done is I was, trying to set up the office, and I was trying to get business cards, set up my website, like do all these things that they do matter, but they don't come before the actual money generating activities. So I urge you, do the money generating activities way first and focus entirely on that. So what a perfect day in the life looks like for a new real estate investor or a new wholesaler is you're just calling. You're either cold calling, or maybe if you have the money, you're paying someone to cold call and you're talking to all the sellers as trying to close them essentially. Or if you're attacking the MLS, you're calling all these realtors, trying to make offers, all this stuff. Like, that's where your activity should be. And I failed to do that, and I realized that I could have accelerated much faster if I did those things. So if you're in the position right now where, you're in the beginning stages and you are trying to set up your office space or make business cards or make a website, like, it's rare for even a seller to be like, hey, what's your website? It's rare. It happens, but it's rare. So at the beginning, just try to get the deal done. Try to find it first, because nothing else matters at the beginning if you're attacking the real estate investing. Because at the beginning, if you don't have a deal, you got nothing. Unless you have money, unless you have a lot of money and you are willing to invest that with someone else and kind of partner on something, like, you don't have a deal. You don't have an active deal that you're finding. And if you don't have the deal, you don't have the money or the experience, like, you got nothing. So I urge you to just find the deal first, and you will be much better off. And if you enjoyed this video, I encourage you to click on the link in the description below, and you can get a free strategy session.